Do you ever feel that being a Christian is like being on the losing side? It might seem when you are searching web pages, reading articles, staying current with blogs, getting a sense of what people feel, that being a Christian is like being an outsider. And if someone stands up for what the Bible has to say about something, they are ridiculed. Their perspective is diminished, demeaned, and perhaps even from the perspective of others who lay claim to the name Christianity, that to believe what the Bible actually says it's just out of date. Do you ever feel like you're on the losing side? And have you ever wondered that because it feels like I'm on the losing side, does that mean that God really isn't as powerful as he says he is? If I really were on the winning side, wouldn't God make clear that this was the case to me, to take away all of my doubts, to other people so that they wouldn't ridicule me anymore? Yes, it can be very easy to question the authenticity of the Christian faith based on what one's eyes can see. And this was something that the Apostle Paul had to deal with as well. There was a group of Christians who had learned to know of Christ through Paul, but some other guys had gotten into the congregation and they were making it seem like Paul was worthless, that he wasn't a leader worth following. And one of the things that apparently they mentioned was the fact that Paul was being persecuted for his faith. That he suffered a lot, that people didn't accept him. And because so many people didn't accept Paul, that was evidence that perhaps he wasn't the guy to follow. And so Paul has to help his fellow Christians understand, what does it mean when it looks like Christians are on the losing side? What does it mean when it appears that Christians are operating in weakness, being persecuted? If it doesn't mean that they are losers, what makes it make sense? The example Paul mentions, and it's one for you to hang on to as well, is Jesus. Paul says Jesus was crucified in weakness. Crucified, right? There isn't a greater evidence of being rejected than being executed, and in such a shameful way. You wonder how many people on that night, the night Jesus died, were afraid that maybe it was a losing proposition to be a follower of Jesus. Of course, that was only an appearance. When Jesus rose to life on the third day, it was very obvious that Jesus was not the loser. And what an amazing thing it would be if, for us, we were to see on that day a living Jesus. Like, could we ever doubt again? Well, the fact is that our sinful flesh is still eager to call into question the rightness of being on the side of Jesus. The wonderful thing is that Jesus worked hard even on the day that he rose to make it clear that it wasn't his visible appearance that was to be the key in helping people trust him. It was the fact that God's word never lies, that we can be confident in the promises God has made even when we haven't seen Jesus yet. Oh, we will see Jesus. And yes, he does live in strength. But it's true that for a time it may appear that to be a Christian, in fact, to be an authentic, truth-holding on to follower of Jesus, it may appear in so many settings that you are on the losing side. Let not appearances deceive you. Just as Jesus was crucified in weakness but lives in power, so you can experience the ridicule of those around you and yet still be just as confident to live out your Christian life with Jesus at your side from a position of strength, because your Jesus lives. You are on the winning side.